I say the darker the flesh, then the deeper the roots. I give a holler to my sisters on welfare. Tupac kids.
Hey, we're live.
Welcome to Lazy News and welcome America. Today is June 8th, 2017, and here's the news today. Today we have giving you your news today is me, Leilani T,
and me, Alma. Wait.
Anyway.
I'm Leilani.
Wait, okay.
You're Alma.
Anyway, we also have Zeb Dunster, who's behind the camera right now.
Since today is Throwback Thursday, we are going back in time during the Cold War, during the years of 1947 to 1991.
Yes, we'll recap some of the most important events like the Cold War, like Vietnam and how the communist Russia fell, and more.
Yes, that and much more. Upcoming is our first event is the space race.
Columbia, this is Houston, AOS, over. Progressing beautifully. They're setting up the flag now. I guess you're about the only person around that doesn't have TV coverage of
The space race lasted from 1957 to 1975, lasting 18 years.
The USSR, also known as Soviet Russia, and America were the only two countries involved.
NASA was being funded by our government at this time, and the opposite side, Soviet space program, were working for their government.
The reason for the space race is basically just the two sides trying to show off they're technologically advanced than the other.
Yeah, sounds like a waste of money and time just to show off.
Yeah, in fact, the space used around $25 billion during that time due to inflation. In today's money, that would be around $100 billion.
The space race is where the major objective was to be the first country to get to the moon.
The space race, for the most part, ended when the winners, which were the amazing United States of America, completed the objective of being the first country to get to the moon.
Yes, America being the first country to get on the moon with a space mission sent by NASA, which was funded at the time, Apollo 11, which had the iconic Neil Armstrong, and the other two astronauts were Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins.
Yes, and one of the most memorable quotes from Neil Armstrong is, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." This is when he first stepped onto the moon, making the line known throughout the world.
Neil Armstrong, shortly after stepping on the moon, planting the American flag into the ground, deeming America having the best science, technology, and economic system.
Fun fact: the Russians were actually in the lead of the space race before the Americans landed a human on the moon by launching the first human into space.
This affected the Cold War by the Americans showing their enemies, the Soviets, that their rocket science was better than them.
Some long and short-term effects were that both the United States and the USSR realized how important rocket research would be to the military, which could give them military advantage. Just both interested them in rocket technology.
Another fun fact, Russian space pilots are called cosmonauts, which means sailors of the universe, and American space pilots were called the Star Sailors.
What do you think would be different if the Soviets won instead of Americans?
I believe that unlike America, the Russians would probably still be interested in their space program and the moon. The Americans believed that when they won, that there was no point. Benefit after the space race to fund NASA, thus terminating funding to them. However, if the Soviets were the ones who won, they would spend more interest into the space program if they were still here today and not disbanded.
Hi, I'm Theodora Smith, and I'm here to give you the product that you should buy, the Commie Alert, for all your communist problems. Here at Commie Alert, we give the best service, unlike our competitor, Life Alert, shown here. Insert clip. Look at this happy customer here, the leader of South Korea, Chung Il-kwon.
Benefited me and my country very greatly when those damn commies North Korea just one flick like this and they're alerted.
Whoever made this drink, I'm gonna get you fired today. Is it you? Oh, we're live? Oh, right. Now we go to the big event of the Cold War, the Vietnam War.
The Vietnam War went from November 1st, 1955 to April 30th, 1975.
Yes, the Vietnam War lasted for 20 years, and the main participants of the Vietnam War were Vietnam itself and the United States of America. America did help out South Vietnam fight off the evil and communist North Vietnam.
Fun fact, Vietnam War was the first ever televised war ever. And now we will show a short clip of the Vietnam War on how they dropped bombs.
That's it. Wow, that clip, so emotional. You can see so many people dying and suffering. You can just see all these Americans during that time angry.
Yeah, you can just see the people, both American and Vietnamese, suffering. Very tragic. But
Here I have today is Hillary Mass, who was alive during the time of the Vietnam War. Now we're gonna ask some questions. Do you remember the time that you first saw the Vietnam War on TV?
Yes. I remember the time when I was young and one day I turned on the TV to see the bloody imagery from the newly started Vietnam War. And I can remember the shock on my family's faces.
Wow. The Vietnam War was the U.S. fought with the South to fend off the North Communists. Resulted in 3 million people dying, which resulted in the communist forces taking over the South region, making Vietnam as a whole communist, ending the war. How did this make you feel at the time?
At the time, seeing so many people dying before me on TV just gave me shock. I immediately felt like the war was pointless, as well as other Americans felt. I believe that America lost, and that the only time we lost in history.
Thank you, Hillary Mass. Now over with Leilani with Eli.
hello! Today we have Eli Martin, who is a local teen who is studying the Vietnam War, who is here today to give us their opinion on the Vietnam War. Hello, Eli.
Hello, Leilani.
How do you think the Vietnam War was affected in the Cold War?
I think the Vietnam War sparked more heat between the Soviet Union and the United States and the people in its government.
What do you think would happen if the Americans won the Vietnam War?
I think the Americans won the war instead of the Vietnamese because the war had ended quicker due to Americans stop being a huge party on the communist side.
Wow, that was inspirational.
Yeah, studied a lot for this.
One last question. What did the Vietnam War do to the Cold War?
Like I said, it added more heat between the Soviet Union and it reacted negatively, causing people to voice out about the war.
Thank you, Eli. And now we will go to the event of the Berlin Wall with Zeb and Alma.
Okay.
Go.
Now we go back to the time of the Berlin Wall, before and after it was created.
The Berlin Wall was created during August 13, 1961.
The wall fell on November 9th, 1989.
The people who were involved were East and West Germany, the USSR, and the United States.
Berlin was being influenced by the USSR and the US, which then created a wall, splitting the east and the west side of Berlin, splitting the communist and non-communist sides.
During the 38 years of building the wall, around 30 people died during the actual building of the wall, and 80 people died during the fall of it.
When the wall fell, the two splits of Germany reunited together as a whole when the wall fell. The only effects of the Berlin Wall were long-term, which first then split Germany, then reunited it.
The Berlin Wall was created so that the west side of Berlin would be defended against the Soviets from taking control.
If the Berlin Wall was not created, the Soviets would have taken control of west side of Berlin. The Americans might have had conflict with the Russians getting this new owned territory, and would actually might have face-to-face combat.
The Berlin Wall created both physical and mental barriers with the U.S. or non-communist people with the Communist Party.
I've done it. All these years of all this work, I can finally help America win the Cold War. Nike, just blow it. Buy our product now. Now we go towards the end of the Cold War with the fall of Communist Russia.
It started on March 11, 1990 and ended on December 25th, 1991.
The people who were involved were Albania, Bulgaria, Germany, and Hungary.
Sure.
Third one.
The Soviet Union, countries left the Soviet Union since Germany unified and they didn't want to be a part of that, so that's why it happened.
The Soviet Union split apart as it went into 15 different countries, and basically the Soviet Union disintegrated into 15 different countries due to the superiority of the democracy and capitalism, which took over communism.
There were no short-term effects to the fall of Communist Russia.
However, there were some long-term effects as communism, the main party, has died, and capitalism spread most of the world.
This ended the war.
If the Soviet Union were to win the Cold War, then the fall of Communist Russia would never have happened, meaning the US would have lost and capitalism would be eradicated while communism would spread instead, vice versa.
Today we have recapped the Cold War for our weekly Throwback Thursday,
We went over the space race, Vietnam War, and Berlin Wall.
and also the fall of Communist Russia.
Alright, anyway, thank you for watching Lazy News, and come back tomorrow for our daily news on the same channel. Goodbye, America.
And now we go to the ending of the Cold War with the fall of Communist Russia. Okay, we redid that. Okay, you gotta stop laughing. That was pretty good.
Today we have recapped the Cold War for our weekly Throwback Thursday.
We got this happy customer here, the leader of South Korea, Chung Il-kwon.
Okay, go.
Okay, today we... It's gonna be in a pain...
Okay, can we just do this now? Okay.
Go.
Now we go back to the time of the Berlin.
The Vietnam War went from...
That's it. Hey, we're live.
Welcome to Lazy News and welcome America. Today is June 8th, 2017, and here's the news today. Today we have giving you your news today is me, Leilani T.
And me, Alma. Wait.
Anyway.
I'm Leilani.
Wait, okay.
You're Alma.